have insecurities, whether it's beauty, finances, weight, career, but the trick is how we deal with them on a daily basis. Here with her roadmap to living a productive life in spite of our insecurities, please welcome Dr. Karyn Gordon. Great topic.
Great topic. Always a good topic.
What are we seeing in terms of the stats when it comes to insecurities?
You know me, I love numbers, I love math. So it's interesting, only 28% of men are extremely satisfied with how they look, according to Time magazine, and only 26% of women, so 1 out of 4.
Yeah, that's low.
Low!
Yeah.
And then another kind of interesting stat, 70% of us will experience with what is called the imposter syndrome. Have you heard of this? The imposter syndrome. So even if we get something, we kind of blame it on, and it, like, you know, it's like if I do well in a test, it's like, well, it was kind of easy.
Right.
We kind of like almost don't take credit for it.
Totally.
So 70%. So this is like an
70% of what? Women or men?
Well, the stat is according to, for Inc. magazine, they actually said both.
Okay, because that sounds kind of womany.
I know, it does sound a little bit,
we very much doubt, like, I don't know if I really
I agree with you, Trace.
Like, yes, you did earn it.
Yeah.
Yes, you should be here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's talk about understanding our insecurities a little bit better and getting acquainted with them and being, like, sort of okay with them.
Yes, okay with them. So every one of us have insecurities.
Absolutely.
Every one of us. In fact, I get a little bit concerned, shall I say, if someone says, "Oh, I don't have any insecurities." I'm like, spend a little hour with me and I'll help you point them out. Because we got some. Because none of us are perfect.
No.
Right? None of us are perfect. So what's really important that I want to help people understand is that there's a difference between having insecurities and being insecure.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So all of us will have insecurities. There's things that we just don't feel great about. We don't feel it's a strength. We don't feel like that we've kind of mastered it. Versus somebody who is insecure, they've almost kind of like, they've almost let it define who they are.
Got it.
Okay, so one's an internal, one's an external, but we all have insecurities.
I like that distinction.
Okay, so I think that's a really important piece.
Okay.
Because someone can be confident and yet still have insecurities.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about what I named a few of them off the top, what some of the insecurities might be.
It is so interesting. So I was saying to you before the show, so a lot of these segments come up when I go to parties or I'm talking to my girlfriends, and I pay attention with what people say, and then I go back and I write them in my little book. And so this is part of my friends, my colleagues, my clients, but also online. So all the different insecurities. So I'm gonna share with you, and I want you to kind of ask yourself, maybe which of these, maybe 1 or 2 of them are some of your insecurities. School, academics, friendships, body image, weight, social media, sex, relationship, marriage, exercise, sports, finance, approval from in-laws, intellectual ability, beauty, style, size of your breasts, acne, age, career.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That covers it.
Okay. We are going to cheer on these insecurities. We are going to face them, man. We are going to face them.
We're going to face them. So it's important that you just say, okay, I'm a little bit insecure about my weight, and that's okay. There's a lot of people who are. And then what do we do next?
Okay, so really the next step is you want to identify it. And then I really believe in the idea about role models and having teachers in our life.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is, first of all, identify with what is the insecurity. And then the next step I want you to do is I want you to think to yourself, who is somebody in your life that you think is a phenomenal role model in that particular area?
Okay.
Okay, who's just killing it. They're doing an awesome job. They're owning it. And so you want to kind of see how they approach it. Okay, so you want to kind of figure out what's the insecurity and then who's the role model that you think is doing a really great job.
Okay, and so you ask them, how come you feel so comfortable, and what's happening in your brain to make you feel so comfortable in this space?
You got it.
And see if you can learn a little something from them.
Absolutely.
And start to emulate that behavior.
You got it. You got it. And so the next tip, which is really important, so what you want to do is you want to take the insecurity and then you want to separate into 2 different categories. Okay, you ready? So the first category is this something that I can control?
Yes.
Or is it something that I can't control?
Okay.
Okay. So it might be an insecurity like finances. You don't feel so good about your budgeting. Okay, so find somebody in your life that you think is amazing and then you learn from them. So this is a skill set that you can step into. You learn from it. Okay? Versus somebody who, let's say their insecurity is age. Well, we can't control their age. But now what I want you to do is find somebody who you think is maybe the same age and they're totally embracing it. They're loving their age. They're not afraid of it. They're like telling people about it.
Okay.
And what you're going to find is that they have a different mindset about it.
Right.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. So you want to
kind of like, so you're approaching it, you're kind of dividing into 2 different categories. You're still using the role model to kind of help you, but you're leaning into it. You're charging at it, man. You're not like afraid of it. You're charging towards it.
Okay, you're getting in there and working it out.
Yes.
So you study your insecurities insecurity, you were leaning in,
Yep.
and you're focusing on progress, not perfection.
If there is one thing I have learned, it's that perfection is the enemy. It really is the enemy. It's like this thing that does not exist.
It doesn't
and
exist.
Every time we go for it, we're going to have frustration, disappointment, anxiety.
Yeah.
So we have to like let go of perfection and work on progress.
Right.
So you literally progress kind of trumps perfection.
Right.
Okay, so that's a really important thing, is to aim for progress as you're kind of working towards either a healthier mindset on your insecurity or actually developing a skill. And you charge at it. Don't be afraid of it. You charge towards it.
So good. Yeah, get over that fear and jump in.
Just jump in,
Tack
man.
it.
Tackle it.
Thank